Hey, everybody. Well, welcome back to another episode of I Call BS, because it may be a different day, but it's the same old bullcrap coming out of Hollywood. So let's get into it. What? Well, let's start out with all of our favorites. The old Hair Bear. Turns out our Duke of Disaster knew his star witness. The private investigator, Gavin Burrows, had withdrawn his cooperation before he and Elton, etc., launched their super claim against the Daily Mail in, wait for it, 2022. Yeah, 4 years ago. They were well aware. Indeed, instead of wasting millions of dollars and hours of time, that's okay, because guess what? It now should cost Harry and Elton a lot. In a new post by the Upsetter on Substack, a really good Substack. I know a lot of you guys aren't on it, but you should be. The Upsetter notes that Team Harry's conduct in the lost hacking claim will cost the Prince and Baroness dearly. That's Baroness Lawrence, the one who signed the old whitewash claim after they lost. So the most sensational matter to emerge from the two-day hearing last week was an admission tucked away in correspondence between the claimants and the judge, which was disclosed to the Upsetter under open justice principles. It's a good one. In the letter, the claimants admitted they were aware their star witness, the private investigator Gavin Burrows, had withdrawn his cooperation before they launched the super claim against the newspaper in 2022, and the gamble to continue the case regardless was catastrophic, and now raises the prospect of a fight between the insurers, now this is important because they were insured, the claimants, and their own lawyers over liability for the Mail's eye-watering legal bill of 34.8 million pounds. So soon after the trial started on the 19th of January, 2026, Justice Nicklin ordered the claimants' lawyers to set out in writing their position on Gavin Burrows. The private investigator was no longer their witness, but now claimed allegations against the Mail in a statement dated August 2021 had been fabricated and his signature was forged. You can't get any weirder, right? Like, your star witness forged everything. By the way, yes, that is Doug. Doug is excited about this because he can't believe it was forged either. On 26th of January, the claimant's solicitors responded to the judge with an extraordinary admission. The letter obtained by the Upsetter admitted for the first time that Harry and Company had launched their claim knowing that Gavin Burrows, quote, had probably withdrawn cooperation and thereby indicated he was unwilling to attend trial on their behalf. I mean, kind of weird, right? Your star witness refuses to show up. Okay. Meanwhile, the claimants applied for insurance cover for their super claim 3 days after their star witness declined to appear in court and claimed his signature was forged. Funny how they knew they would need insurance, right? So on March 2022, Harry and everyone took out, after the event, insurance to the value of 250,000 pounds from Temple Legal Protection. The following day, Galbraith and Sangani now Galbraith and Sangani are lawyers for Harry and Baroness Lawrence, sent 7 letters before action to the Mail's legal department setting out their claims. However, the question arises whether Temple Insurance were told about the fatal fallout between their star witness and lead researcher. It's hard to see how the full facts were not pertinent to the underwriting decision. At some point, insurance cover was increased by £1 million for each claimant. There were 7 claimants. million pounds when it was clear that the newspaper was willing to go to court. Because, of course, you realize they just wanted the Daily Mail to settle. The Daily Mail was like, F you, boy. We got all the proof. You didn't think we had it, we do. So here's the deal. If Temple, or like other insurance companies, extensive inquiries will be currently underway to see if the policy can be voided due to the conduct of the claimants and their advisors. The Mail has asked the judge to order an interim payment of £9.95 million by the end of August, and Justice Nicklin told the claimants to get their checkbook ready to pay something when his judgment lands. Now that's coming August 17th. Justice Nicklin said he will take all of next week to write his judgment on whether punitive costs should be awarded to the Daily Mail. I mean, honestly, I, for one, cannot wait. I also believe, yeah, you should have punitive costs. It was all BS. The case was BS. You blew millions of dollars, not just for the Daily Mail, but from the public taxpayer, because, of course, Harry seems to think the public taxpayer is there to, I don't know, do whatever he wants and pay for whatever he wants. But God bless. We shall see. I cannot wait. And now we come to his wife, Meghan Markle. It's her big birthday. Yeah! She turns 45 again, probably. Meghan marked the day before her 45th birthday in a very on-brand fashion by taking to Instagram to showcase herself making an ice cream sundae topped with, of course, her as ever raspberry jam and $15 flour sprinkles. Shall we see this? Because I got a lot to say about this little video, which I think you guys either have seen, or if you haven't, you're going to enjoy it. Because here we go. That girl. I mean, she did it. She sprinkled shortbread, flour sprinkles into a beautiful glass. We were treated to a glimpse of her very expensive hand, because she, of course, showed off her $250,000 diamond pear-shaped diamond band. That's a lot of rock there. She also is, of course, wearing Princess Diana's Cartier watch. That's also worth $24,000, and a $3,200 Jennifer Meyer bezel tennis bracelet. Because as you do when you're making ice cream sundaes. Although the weirdest thing to that was, for some reason, she's then shown eating an ice cream cone, because apparently a picture perfect sundae in a glass cup is not meant to actually be eaten. Silly me. You leave it there for show and then you eat out of a cone. Ugh. Meanwhile, as ever, marked their founder's birthday with a weird post showing Meghan looking like she got a bluff. And just so we're clear, there is no shame in the bluff game. I had one too, because genetically in my family, our eyelids just droop until they hang over our eyelashes. You can't see anymore. You got to go. And for those of you who don't know what a bluff is when you get your eyes pinched, you basically get surgery. Your bags are saggy. You get them sucked out here. You get taken up here. So, you look younger. God bless Meghan. I mean, yay. Now, according to Hello Magazine, she is going to celebrate this birthday in an AI-induced, and I call it AI-induced because everything with her is quiet, and she is going to celebrate this birthday in a quiet fashion, quiet, with just her husband and children, because why invite friends when you don't have any? And let's be clear, the neighbors are pretty much sick of her jam, literally. her jam and her jam, if you get it. Meanwhile, I mean, because like her pop-up store to local bookstore, you know, the one that's like part owned by Oprah and some lady from CAA, whatever, that pop-up store is now reduced to a tiny little small corner. Not quite sold out, you know. But then again, here's the deal. I feel bad for her because it's not really turned out to be the year she expected. I mean, in April, she posted a horoscope. Let me see if I found this horoscope. Nope, I didn't. That's all right. We'll just have to look at her while I talk. She posted a horoscope noting Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius ending the hardest 7 years of their lives on April 25th. The tension between who you actually are and what the world around you was willing to see has been exhausting in a way that is hard to explain to people who have not lived it, the horoscope read. Your confidence took hits it had no business taking. You question your direction, your spotlight, your worth. But on April 25th, the pressure lifts. You get the space to just exist without fighting for it. I mean, that's 4 signs who apparently now have the space to exist without fighting for it, including Scorpio. C'est moi. But then again, the horoscope certainly hit close to home for her, because earlier this month, she did refer to herself as the most trolled person in the entire world. I mean, actually, that was earlier in April. Sorry about that, guys. But just for shits and giggles, let's see what happened in 2026, shall we? Because it ain't been the best year. In January, her Netflix show was downgraded. They confirmed in January that With Love, Meghan would only continue as seasonal specials rather than full seasons. In February came the Valentine's Day collaboration backlash. Her Valentine's gift bundle collaboration with chocolate company Compartis, or Comparts, whatever, drew criticism over its $185 price tag, because who can afford that? And yes, people called it overpriced, and some questioned her business model. In fact, Serena Williams, who she sent it to, even questioned it by having that crumpled up chocolate. I mean, God, I almost felt bad for her at this point and being like, I don't even like chocolate, but thanks. I was like, damn, Serena, smack down. Then in March, Netflix pulled out of As Ever altogether. They officially ended their As Ever partnership just months after the couple had announced an expanded multi-year deal. Oops. Reports claim Netflix was giving leftover As Ever products away to employees on its Hollywood campus, and a Variety correspondent questioned the claim that $60 million worth of product had been sold, because it hasn't. It hasn't. It might have been made, but it wasn't happening. Yeah. And then in March, Tom Bower's book came out. Oh, yeah. And it just was devastating. It claimed Queen Camilla had said Meghan had brainwashed Harry, and that William really hated her and waggled his finger in her face, all this stuff. It was great. I loved it. We discussed it. In April, there was the shittiest Australian trip. And this trip was, you know, it was like the faux royal tour, the quasi-royal tour, whatever the hell you want to call it, where they earned money from the trip by selling her trauma closet. And also, you know, giving speeches and whatnot and showing up to Invictus. But the trauma closet is really what got me. I mean, come on. Who the hell shows up to Bondi Beach and then it's like, buy my clothes that I wore to visit the site of a Jewish massacre? Or buy my clothes that I went to go visit children with cancer in, or to talk to homeless women in. Nothing says yay like buy my outfit that I wore while dealing with hideous things. Nor did she actually give a cent of any of that money, by the way, to all these charities or trauma victims. Then in May, it was supposed to get better, right? So she goes over to Geneva and is immediately hit with hypocrisy allegations. or accusations. Her speech was cribbed. It argued the message set uneasily alongside her posting photos of her children on Instagram, because her message was, keep your kids off the internet. Here are my kids on the internet. Just, rules for thee, not for me. Then in June, there was the promotional video of her showing her carrying a basket of fruit and vegetables, which was called obnoxious and other things, but I can't really talk about that now because family friendly. Viewers did point out inconsistencies like ripe apples in June, making us all realize every video she's been posting for the TikTok, I don't know, ever since she shot With Love Megan, is from that Netflix shoot years earlier, because she's a thrifty girl. I mean, then it came out that the first half of the year, her brand traffic collapsed. As ever, website traffic fell 46% between January and June, from 268,000 down to 145,000. And even those 145,000 people are not buying stuff. They're just going on the website to do what I do, which is like, she wants how much? For what? Damn, girl. In July, of course, they visited, Hair Bear, and the kids visited Diana's gravesite, which is, it was just tacky. She posted a photo showing her kids preparing to lay flowers at Princess Diana's resting place at Althorpe, prompting royal watchers to call the moment exploitive and a vulgar act, with Prince William reportedly left fuming. One commentator claimed William exploded and King Charles was stunned, with some of her defenders reportedly even abandoning her over that tacky old post. And then, of course, we've got in July, a week ago, it came out that her UK popularity has hit a record low of 18%. It's her lowest rating since YouGov began tracking her under its current system. And so I say, happy birthday, Meghan. You only turned 45 3 times. That was me. I have turned 45 3 times. Next year, I am going to be 46. Oh my gosh. Although, let's be honest, next year you may want to get a new astrologer and a shrink. However, there is some good news, because my brother from another mother, Tom Sykes, says that Prince Harry's dad, King Charles III, will very likely send his birthday wishes to the Duchess on her big day. And Tom says the king is a scrupulously polite man, and I'm quite certain he would wish to send his daughter-in-law his birthday wishes. God bless him. I don't even know if I could be that polite. Everything he sends to her, she's squirreling it away for a little book or a little Instagram post or a little something, But enough with that fool. We're going to come to this guy, Zac Brown. I'm not mad at Zac Brown, okay? Most of you know I was raised on and below the Mason-Dixon. I like some country music, all right? And so I wouldn't have been mad when last night the Zac Brown band handed out free cruise tickets to more than 37,000 people at its Fenway Park show in what the country star branded, quote, the biggest giveaway in history, worth a whopping $40 million. What? Yeah. I mean, yay, right? He announced the reward just before he performed the track Same Boat, a song he collaborated with the late Margaritaville singer Jimmy Buffett in 2021, saying, I'm buying every single person here a cruise for 2 people on the boat. Don't worry, he's not actually paying for it, because his band has teamed up with Margaritaville at Sea, which is the lead sponsor for his Love and Fear tour. For the giveaway, worth an estimated $40 million, blah, blah, blah. That's so great, $40 million, yay, we're all stuck on that. Most of us are just kind of like, oh my God, that's so generous. Yeah, cost him nothing, cost them nothing. And also BT dub, beware. The Margaritaville at Sea Paradise. Hold on, let's get a photo of this lovely ship up, shall we? It's been dubbed, and I quote, the world's worst rated cruise, with a 3.3 overall rating on TripAdvisor. A label that went viral after YouTubers started booking it specifically because of the bad reviews. On Yelp, it sits at just 2.3 out of 5 stars. And one cruise expert went viral on TikTok saying she, quote, refuses to sail it, calling it the one cruise line she'd literally heard nothing good about. A Redditor summed up its reputation as Spirit Airlines of the seas. You get what you pay for. Even more terrifying for the people at this concert because they will not have had paid for it. Complaints, you're going to love this, included, well, hidden fees and nickel and diming. Passengers cite fuel surcharges, $50 plus valet parking, taxes and port fees, and even a $7 charge for a second entree at the free dinner, if you're still hungry. Because reviewers complain the fees are buried in fine print at booking. They didn't even know about it. Washington Post called it basic economy at sea. And by the way, I don't know why they would want to pay $7 for their extra entree, because the reviewers have described the food as old and reused, with raw chicken and brown lettuce, ration portions with the same offerings every day, and food not available throughout the day, like on other lines, specific times for the brown lettuce. Meanwhile, the TripAdvisor cruise critic says the ships are old, worn out. The Paradise dates back to 1991, and reviewers noticed peeling wallpaper, leaking porthole windows, worn sheets, cabins smelling of mildew with temperature and noise problems, and no big ship features like water slides or thrill rides. There was also, BT dubs, operational chaos. Repeated delays leaving ports, events were canceled without announcements, and nightmarish disembarkment coming up in multiple reviews, along with long, hot, disorganized embarkation lines. Yes, they also failed a CDC inspection. A huge black mark, BT dubs. That's right, Doug is furious. Doug can't stand cruises in general, even though I have to take them when I take my geriatrics out because I ain't unpacking 900 times. But Doug is not a fan, so that's why he is scream barking. So in May 2024, CDC inspectors gave the Paradise a failing score of 83. 86 is needed to pass BT dub, noting 65 separate issues, including overcrowded rural pools with inadequate water sanitation, broken fridges and fryers, soiled decks, and a crew who couldn't demonstrate proper chemical handling for food safety. And it also failed a CD inspection back in 2019. And nothing says I love you like food poisoning and a case of norovirus. So to all those people there in Boston last night, take my advice. Fill up the kiddie pool in the backyard, put on your radio with Zac Brown playing, pop a White Claw, and absolutely look this gift horse in the diarrhea-filled mouth, because you got to ask, is it worth it? Enough for this lady. All right, next up, we've got the guy I like to call Big Dick Pete. He's at it again. Pete Davidson was spotted on a date with Brooks Nader's sister 2 days after reaching co-parenting agreement with his Model X. Yay, what timing, right? No better way to celebrate a co-parenting agreement with the girl who just popped out your baby and going out with another girl who, by the way, looks really, really similar to your baby mama, right? So BDP, old Pete, who, by the way, suffers from borderline personality disorder, has, quote, provided full financial support amid the split from Elsie Hewitt, whom he dated for a whopping 4 months before she got pregnant. Wait to get to know someone before you start popping out kids. And he wants everyone to know he's actually covering all of Scotty's costs and more, which is nice. That's nice. And now, guess what, everyone? He's back in the field, ladies. Woo-hoo-hoo. And I got to tell you, if you're blonde or over a certain age, don't bother, because, again, he got a certain look. In the span of only 6 years, Pete has loved and left the likes of Chase Sui, Kim Kardashian, Emily Ratajkowski, Phoebe Dynevor, Margaret Qualley, Kaya Gerber, Kate Beckinsale, Ariana Grande, Cassie David, God, I'm tired of this list, and Carly Aquilino. So if you are young, hot, famous, or semi-famous and willing to put up with a guy who may or may not be on his meds, you too can apply to be Pete Davidson's next lady. You'll love it, for like 6 months. Although, fair warning to everyone, apparently he doesn't like to wear a condom. Just ask Elsie. Buyer beware and grab some Naloxone 9 before you put in your application, ladies. I can't. It's a lot. It's a lot going on there. All right, next up, we got Ryan Gosling. I love him. Our guy who, God bless him, kind of looks like, I don't know, everyone else, wants $20 million to play Ken in the next Barbie. And if you, unlike me, were wondering where the Barbie sequel is, well, we do have some news because, again, it's all about the Benjamins. It's being held up. The studio chiefs have been negotiating with the talent for months, including Margot Robbie, Greta Gerwig, and, of course, Ryan. The offers have included a cut of profit for the principal talent if the film reaches a certain level of box office success, and at least some upfront raises, including paying Ryan Gosling $20 million to begin. I mean, to be fair, the original Barbie racked up $1.5 billion in worldwide box office sales. But David Zaslav, the Warner Brothers CEO, he don't like to share, especially when there's money involved. I mean, he's a billionaire. He don't want no one else to be. He's nixing the big bucks, but you better hurry up because the rights to Barbie will revert to Mattel if Warner Brothers does not make a deal with the principal talent for a sequel by December. But then again, what does he care? He's a billionaire. He's selling off his entire company for parts before he retires. I mean, and to be fair, I don't really care. The first movie was so bad, I fell asleep within 20 minutes. Now, I know that is not popular, but it's true. I couldn't stand it. And also, when it comes to Ryan, just get another dude. I mean, come on. He's Ken. He's just Ken. Isn't that what the entire damn movie was about? Just get another Ken or another Ryan. There's like 50 of them in Hollywood. Trust and believe. Now we're coming to the story, the BS story of the day that you guys may not agree with me with. I'm all right. We're going to come to Timothy Busfield. Now, you do need to know I am not a fan of child molesters. I do, in fact, think they should all be shot. But I am also not a fan of accusing someone of something heinous and not being able to produce the receipts and ruining their lives on something that we're all kind of scratching our heads on. All right. Now, Timothy, aka Mr. Melissa Gilbert, he has been charged with 4 counts of criminal sexual contact of a child under 13 by the Albuquerque Police Department, who filed a criminal complaint detailing allegations involving young twin actors who worked on a series with him while Busfield was directing and acting in it. The complaint alleges that Busfield inappropriately touched one of the boys over his clothing on multiple occasions between November 2022 and spring of 2024, when the child was 7 and 8 years old. This is disgusting. The boy's twin brother also told authorities he was touched by Busfield. Gross, right? I mean, I had a hard time even going through that. Like, it just is that upsetting. However, it is my opinion that the case against Timothy Busfield is just plain as bad. There was a Warner Brothers internal investigation that took months. They were very thorough. It cost millions. The independent internal investigation concluded, this is the studio behind The Cleaning Lady, the show that the kids and Busfield were involved with, was they were unable to corroborate the allegations on set despite many witnesses. Not to mention, these kids were not left alone with him except for possibly seconds. There was also the potential motive and set conflict. The defense asserts that the complaint was filed only after the child actors were fired and replaced on the show, alleging the allegations were retaliatory. Now, there was also a polygraph taken because in New Mexico, polygraphs are allowed in court. And I mean, Timothy Busfield passed it. Flying colors. There was also evidentiary gaps and pretrial release. So during the initial detention hearing, the judge ordered Timothy Busfield released on his own recognizance pending the trial, with defense noting that the hearing revealed significant evidentiary gaps in the state's case. It's a lot going on. There's also been alleged prosecutorial misconduct during the grand jury proceedings for withholding defense witnesses and evidence requested by the jury. Nope, they withheld it. Now, I was actually so fascinated by this, I went to go talk to celebrity attorney Alexandra Kazarian, who works with Mark Garagos, who I'm sure y'all have heard about. And she went through the case with me, and she said this. Hold on, let's get this up because it's kind of important.
I don't think that this case should have ever been brought, because the question that a prosecutor is supposed to ask, especially child sex victims, take a while to actually admit what has happened to them, because there's a lot of shame involved. They don't want to disappoint the adults around them. They don't want to disappoint their parents because they know their parents are going to be sad if they find out about it. But you actually have the opposite here, where you have one of the children saying, I did not have nightmares. I only said I had nightmares because my dad wanted me to say it, and I didn't want my dad to be disappointed. So this is a terrible case for the prosecution, I think.
And I agree. We shall see what happens. Now, I do need to be clear. Here's the deal. Do I think Timothy Busfield was inappropriate with young women in the past? Yes. Do I think he is creepy and kind of gross with young women? Oh, I absolutely do. But again, it's with young women, not young boys. And most pedophiles, just BT dubs, are pretty choosy about the gender of their victims. Now, I do urge you to go to News Nation's YouTube and watch my full interview. The link is in the description. And really, Alexander goes through it all and why this is such a crap case. All right, that's about it. But I promised you a palate cleanser, as always, and Doug is not sitting by my side. He got too freaked out by Harry and Meghan earlier and just ran off to the bedroom. But I did tell you yesterday about his inappropriate and unasked for humping. And once we were asked to leave the part of Central Park we were in, we went to another. And so here he is with his best friend, Arturo.
Yeah. David's like, let me take a picture of me, Arturo.
And this one was like $15.99,
I think he would like to sleep in my bed with me.
which was also cheap, but
I have a $20.
yeah, which is good.
Mom, do you need anything? You want some more to drink?
I'm good. Thank you, honey.
More to eat?
I'm good right now. Thank you, baby.
She's super happy.
Oh my gosh. That's my guy. He's my little happy turd. Trying it on once more with Arturo. Hope springs eternal. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Now, listen, I need to know what you think. If you like a daily dose of BS, let me know, because I'm planning on doing it this entire week at 5:30 every night. So don't forget, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the hype, and the bell tomorrow at around like 1 when I post the notification of our next episode of I Call BS. All right. Thanks again, guys. I really appreciate you. Have an awesome evening. And remember, tomorrow's hump day, not just for Doug. Take care, and I will see you soon.